My wonderful listeners, welcome back to another episode of this podcast, your podcast, Languages Pedagogy Podcast, where we don't just talk about language learning. We explore the experience of becoming someone who learns to think differently, to communicate intentionally, and to grow consciously. Today's topic is one that might not sound romantic at first, but I promise you it's powerful. It's about how we learn, not what we learn, not why, but how. Because let's be honest, if you're listening to this, you've probably spent countless hours learning vocabulary, watching videos, scribbling grammar tables, and trying to remember irregular verbs. But what if I told you that some of the most powerful tools for fluency aren't hidden in apps or textbooks? They're found in how you study, how your brain holds onto information, how your mouth, your memory, and your rhythm work together like a symphony. So, today we're diving into three of the most effective brain-based language study techniques: shadowing, chunking, and spaced repetition. Each one of these isn't just a trick. It's a practice, a mindset, a rhythm that aligns with how we naturally acquire, retain, and recall language. So whether you're a solo learner, a classroom student, or someone who feels stuck on the road to fluency, this episode is for you. So, sit comfortably, grab yourself a coffee, and let's get started. Let's start with one of my personal favorites, a method that feels more like performance than study. A method that trains not just your brain, but your mouth, your ears, your timing, and your confidence. Let's talk about shadowing. Shadowing was popularized by the brilliant linguist and interpreter Alexander Argels. He described it as the practice of listening to audio in your target language and immediately repeating what you hear out loud, with as little delay as possible. Imagine you are listening to a French podcast. You hear Je m'appelle Claire et je suis professeur d'anglais. I guess I did it right. I'm not sure. French speakers, please give me a hint. You repeat it instantly as you hear it. You're not stopping the audio. You're not translating. You're simply echoing it, flowing with it, like a shadow. Here's why this is powerful. When you shadow, you're doing multiple things at once. You're training your ear to catch sounds. You're training your tongue to produce them. You're syncing your brain with native rhythm, intonation, and melody. You're breaking the barrier between understanding and speaking. This is not about perfection. It's about mimicry, muscle memory, and confidence building. Because fluency isn't just about what you know. It's about how easily it comes out. Shadowing helps language leave your brain and reach your lips faster. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need a teacher. You don't even need to understand every word. Shadowing is about form, not meaning. At least at first. Okay? Let's be clear on that one. You're building fluency by rhythm, by instinct, by sound. It's how babies learn. They don't analyze it. They repeat. And slowly, it becomes theirs. Now, let's move on to something a little different, a bit more cognitive, more structured, but not less magical. Let's talk about chunking. Chunking is the idea that we don't learn language word by word. We learn it in blocks, in meaningful, repeatable patterns that our brain can absorb as wholes. Think of phrases like, "How's it going?" "I'll have the same, please." "Do you know where I can find?" These are chunks. And when you learn in chunks, you stop translating. You start thinking in the language. Because instead of thinking, I want to go to the store, right? You just say it as a unit, as a thought package, I would say. This is how native speakers think. We don't assemble every sentence like Lego blocks. We retrieve full phrases, stored from years of exposure. And guess what? You can train your brain to do the same. And here's how. Start collecting phrases, not just words. Write them down, say them daily, record them. Use flashcards with full expressions, not isolated vocabulary. Practice with close deletion, where you remove a word from a phrase and guess it. The more chunks you know, the less you have to create language. You're just selecting it. Chunking is fluency fuel. It reduces hesitation, it builds speed, and it gives you real language, not textbook Frankenstein sentences. So ask yourself, what phrases do you use every day in your native language? Start finding them in your target language. Make them yours. Say them like they belong to you, because eventually they will. And now, let's talk about the quiet genius of spaced repetition. This technique isn't flashy. It's not dramatic, but it's the bedrock of long-term memory. Spaced repetition is simple. It's the idea that we remember things better when we review them just before we're about to forget. Think of your brain like a muscle. Every time you review something right before it fades, you strengthen it. You make the memory more durable. You push it deeper into long-term recall. That's why traditional cramming doesn't work. You remember for the test, but you forget 2 days later. Spaced repetition works because it respects the forgetting curve. It uses it. And it's beautifully simple to implement it. Apps like Anki, SuperMemo, or Memrise use it automatically. You input vocabulary and the algorithm shows you each card at the perfect moment, right before you'd forget. But you can also do it manually. Use a notebook, a calendar, a color system, why not? Just don't review everything every day. That's inefficient. Review what's fading, not what's fresh. This is smart study, brain aligned study. And it's the secret to mastering hundreds, if not thousands of words and phrases without burnout. And this episode is sponsored by Broad Club Languages at MikeEnglishOnline.com, where learning has no limits. Are you ready to take your language skills, teaching career, or professional growth to the next level? Whether you're looking to master a new language, prepare for international exams, or enhance your teaching expertise, Broad Club Languages is here to help. At MikeEnglishOnline.com, we offer language learning for all levels and ages: English, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, and more. English for specific purposes: business, academic, travel, and professional communication. International exams preparation: IELTS, TOEFL, CEFR, and beyond. But that's not all. If you're an educator, trainer, or aspiring teacher, we also provide workshops and seminars on pedagogy, educational psychology, motivation, classroom strategies, and innovative teaching techniques. Teacher training programs to help you stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of education. Expert insights on language acquisition, student engagement, and modern teaching methodologies. At Broad Club Languages, we don't just teach, we empower, inspire, and transform. Whether you're a student, a teacher, or a professional, we help you unlock opportunities, confidence, and success. Visit MikeEnglishOnline.com today and start your journey toward mastery, because learning is a lifelong adventure and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Ready to level up? Click the link in the description and join Pro Club Languages today. Now, let's weave all of this together. Shadowing gives you speed. Chunking gives you naturalness. Spaced repetition gives you memory. Together, they give you fluency. No textbook fluency, not exam fluency, but real, alive, and practical fluency. The kind that lets you order coffee without thinking, flirt without translating, negotiate, laugh, defend yourself, make someone smile, all in one language that used to feel foreign. And the best part? You can do all of this alone, at home, with a phone, a voice, and a plan. And these are not just study methods. They are pathways to transformation. Because every shadow sentence is a new layer of confidence. Every chunk is a shortcut to feeling real. Every space review is an act of self-trust. So I invite you today, this week, to experiment. Pick one, try it, and make it a ritual. Let it become part of how you move through the language. Let it become part of how you move through yourself. And remember, you don't need magic. You don't need to be gifted. You need rhythm. You need repetition, and you need to fall in love with the process. Because learning a language isn't about filling a bucket. It's about lighting a fire. One phrase, one practice, one breakthrough at a time. And if you all enjoyed this episode, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me, what's your experience as a learner? Or what's your experience as a teacher? Have you ever done this one with your students? Have you given these tips? Or you have more? Please share it with me. Let's keep growing. Let this community grow and gather and spread the good news about education and learning languages. And as I always say, until next time, keep speaking, keep exploring, and keep growing.